What's up, everybody? It's Peralta-Arellano reporting for Carvd N Stone, your weekly source of positive news. And I'm at the 3rd annual Share the Vibes Festival, and I'm with singer, songwriter, performer, artist Jonah Denae. She just had a set for the festival where she had the crowd engaged, hyped, feeling all kinds of emotions. So I want to talk a little bit about your set. Can you tell me how you developed your style? You have a very bold style that isn't shy of the stage. So can you tell a little bit about how you developed it?
So it always came from poetry and being a poet. Poetry is always so deep-rooted. It's always so, they like to categorize that as sad, but it really came from that. And being a writer all the time, growing up as a young girl. So I've always been bold. I've always been performing up in like programs, school shows, talent shows. I've just never been afraid of the stage. And if anything, I always want my truth to come out with me. I want you to see me on that stage, and I want you to hear what I got to say. So that's why I have that bold presence. I come out raw. I come out as me. So
that's always admirable when you have an artist that's not afraid to be who themselves, or not afraid to be themselves, and let their emotions, raw emotions, out on stage. I think it really helps with connecting with the crowd. And while you're doing some of your crowd work, you mentioned that you were a poet, and you even incorporated one of your songs that had a part of poetry in it. So for you as an artist, why is it important to incorporate the different art styles as one?
Just because I can never run from that. My mother is an author herself, she's a writer, so it's just always been in my blood. I can't run from it. Oops, I'm sorry, I can't run from it, even if I try. It's just boiling up in me, so I'm always going to incorporate that. You always going to hear that spoken word feel, that bold feel. I'm coming right at you. Yeah, it's just something I can't run from.
Beautiful. We love family influences. I mean, my family influenced what I do daily. So it's always great to hear artists who are connected to their roots and keep in remembrance of where they came from. And to add on that, you also shouted out your OGs. So some of the people who have helped you along the way and built who you are. So for you, what are some of the biggest lessons you learned from people who came before you?
I would say Tupac. I want to say he always looked up to, I always looked up to him. Tupac was like the main influence. A little bit of Project Pat, 3-6 Mafia. Just those bold rappers with that sound you just can't get away from. Like, you gonna hear what they saying. DMX is a big one too. Just those greats in that field of just being bold with what they gotta say in their story. I've always looked up to them and taken their influence.
Nice. I think it's always important to kind of channel your role models. I mean, we look up to them for a reason, so they're going to influence us. And as we move forward as your career and you are performing more and more in the city, where do you hope that your career goes for you to influence other people?
I want this to go beyond local. That's always been it's forever going to be my intention with my work. It's going beyond, you know what I'm saying? And I gotta break out of that barrier of being kind of boxed in. We can get boxed in quickly if we become too comfortable where we come from. So I'm gonna continue to strive as hard as I can, but I do see myself very far than I can imagine and phantom into my head. Just beyond, man, I can only see it, and I can't predict it myself, but I just see myself extremely far.
Well, I see you going far as well. If you keep putting out performances just like that, big and bold, you're gonna have a following that's just the same. So yeah, everyone take a page out of Jonah's books. Make sure that you're doing everything big and bold, and remember, in the end, everything will be carved in stone.
In the end, everything will be carved in stone.